Agenda is approval of the June 3rd meeting agenda. Staff, any comments or adjustments?
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I've got a few updates for the agenda tonight.
Okay.
The first one is going to be the voucher disbursement report for other business item 11A. This is already on the agenda. The report was actually just printed and sent to the council earlier today, so that's being added as one item. The next item that's on the actual agenda, but it was a late addition, so we're just going to mention it tonight, is consent item N, which is appointment of HRC members. This was a previously tabled motion, but we're bringing it back today to have it approved by the council. So I just wanted to point that out, that it's back on the agenda and for your approval tonight. And then the last item we're adding would be an item for consent item O. This is not on the agenda right now, so fully fresh to the agenda right now. But I'll give a brief overview just because it's being added right now. So this was an application that we received in the mail today, which is why it's being added for an event for tomorrow, but it's a loudspeaker device application. It's from the Minnesota Nurses Association, who would like to use one Bluetooth speaker and one bullhorn for informational picketing on the public sidewalk on Oakdale Avenue North, so in front of North Memorial. Like I said, they want to do this tomorrow, which is why it's in front of you tonight. But the hours of that would be 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. and 2 to 5 p.m. They also reserved Manor Park building to help with the space there. The application does require that the police chief, building official, and community development coordinator approve it, which they have done today quickly. So that is good to go. So we do recommend approval of it with the conditions that are listed on the memo in front of you, and I'll just read those out loud because other people don't have access to that right now. So the conditions would be no obstructions of any kind to pedestrians or vehicular traffic, especially emergency vehicles, safe and unobstructed passage for pedestrians on sidewalk required at all times. The use of the loudspeaker devices is limited to Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, from 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. and 2 to 5 p.m. Cannot exceed 65 decibels within 10 feet, nor 60 decibels within 50 feet. All areas should be clean of any rubbish of the construction at the conclusion of informational event. The chief of police has his designee is granted authorization to immediately revoke the license if documented patient complaints from the hospital. So those would be the conditions listed on the memo, and staff is looking for council to make a motion for approval.
Excellent.
If you have any questions, please let us know. There aren't any other additions besides those three that I mentioned for the agenda tonight.
Okay, thank you, Chase. Council, any additions, comments on the agenda?
Seeing none, I'll move that we.
I was going to pull item J.
I'm sorry, this is just for approval of the agenda.
Oh, sure.
For the consent.
Sorry, go ahead.
No worries. Yeah, I'll move that we approve tonight's agenda.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. All right, agenda is approved. Next, Jason, we move on to the consent agenda. Pursuant to council rules, one motion, non-debatable, will approve the recommendation noted. Any member of the council may ask for an item to be taken from the consent agenda for discussion and separate action. Such items removed from the consent agenda shall be considered immediately following the approval of the balance of the consent agenda.
Now I would like to pull item J.
It shall be pulled. Anything else?
Hearing none, I will move that we approve the balance of the consent agenda, everything including the A through O, subtracting item J.
Great.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Okay, so what did we approve? We approved the city council meeting minutes from May 20th, 2025. We improved 3 separate work session meeting minutes from March 11th, April 8th, and May 13th. We received Sustainability Committee meeting minutes from April 16th, 2025. We received Planning Commission meeting minutes from April 17th, 2025. We approved a quote for elevator work at the Public Safety Building, much needed elevator work at the Public Safety Building. We have received Robbinsdale's Wine and Spirits monthly financial statements, and those are looking good. Quarterly financial information for general water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and solid waste, also in good shape. We accepted the Deputy Registrar's monthly financial statements. We approved licenses. We accepted a quote for a Hearst tool replacement, city project number 8172, which is the Jaws of Life. And then the appointment of 2 Human Rights Commission members. All right, item J, Diggers Garden Club event.
Yep. So I just wanted to pull that to call attention to an event on this Saturday, June 7th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is the Diggers Garden Club of Robbinsdale. They are having a plant sale, and it is going to be at the Robbinsdale Historic Library on 42nd Avenue North. So want to support the motion, but also want to call attention and make sure people are aware that the activities that they do support the city and the plants around the city, but also neighbors supporting their own beautification of lawns and homes. So,
Excellent.
yep.
All right.
And with that, I'll make a motion to approve the Diggers Garden Club of Robbinsdale's annual plant sale event on Saturday, June 7th, 2025 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no or nay. So approved. Next, we're moving on to presentations. First presentation is Growth Through Opportunity, Empower Inclusion.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. So a brief introduction before we invite the cadets up, and then folks from Empower Inclusion to give a bit of an introduction. Council will recall last summer, fall, staff started discussing the Growth Through Opportunity program with Empower Inclusion, having not done this program before. Ultimately brought on a cadet last fall. Councilmember Terrence joined us for about 8 or 9 weeks, participated in a variety of capacities. The intention is to not one-for-one, but mirror similar program. We have 2 cadets joining us this year. Oscar and Jesus will be joining us. I would invite one or both of the candidates to come up and introduce themselves if they're comfortable.
Hi, Oscar. Do you want to step to the microphone?
Hello. My name is Oscar Ariola, and I do work raising canes, cleaning. I'm excited to be intern of the police. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oscar,
Thank you.
thank you so much. We're so excited you're here. Thank you for stepping
It's
up.
an honor. I don't want to waste you guys' time or not.
You're not.
Not a waste of our
It's-
time.
It's our honor. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
And same thing, Jesus. Big thank you to you as well. It's an honor that you're here and participating. Okay. Any council? Anything else?
Just, yeah, thanks for stepping up, folks. Yeah, if you want to.
All right. How are you guys doing? Captain Chad Stender with the Robbinsdale Police Department. Before I came to Robbinsdale, I was working at the Orono Police Department and got introduced to Growth Through Opportunity, and Alex and Paul were there with a couple of cadets. It's a great opportunity for the city along with the police department. They do learn valuable skills. I can tell you the cadets that we had in Orono are out working, some of them living on their own, and when we saw them out on their own and working, they lit up when they saw us, and it was just great to see them. And Paul was just saying that one of them posted their first paycheck. You know, they're very excited. So some basic skills, but just skills that they can learn, and you know, that they can thrive on by themselves, and just learn skills. So like Oscar can, you know, as he's working at raising canes. So we're grateful for the opportunity, and with Paul and Alex, and so we'll have them 8 or 9 weeks or till August. So you'll see them out and about throughout the different city departments. They're going to learn a bunch of skills, and we're happy to have them. Then Alex has got a few words just about the growth opportunity.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alex Oladoyin. I'm the owner of Empower, and so we have been doing, how many years now, Paul? 6 or 7 years? Growth Through Opportunity. It's a really cool internship that's designed to give people with intellectual and developmental disabilities experience with the police, and City of Chaska actually had the wonderful idea to have it be citywide instead of just with the police department, and so they came up with a really fun model to have the interns kind of rotate through a different department each week. And so we're so grateful that the city of Robbinsdale and Robbinsdale PD have been open to having this internship here, because like Chad said, it's beneficial to everyone who participates. And if anyone is wondering, like, funding for coaching from the program is through the Medicaid waiver and through the state of Minnesota through vocational rehabilitation services. So, any questions about GTO? Anything you guys are wondering?
Questions, Council?
Thank you.
Yeah, truly, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, you guys, for having us.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so cool, and I'm so proud of Robbinsdale for participating in this. It's really neat, and again, thank you guys for stepping up, Jesus and Oscar. It's just, man, we're delighted you're here. So if you ever need to reach out, you can call me. So happy to support. Yes,
I might add, thank you. Thanks for the overview of the program. It's been really wonderful to see this program continue with the city of Robbinsdale. Oscar and Jesus, thank you in advance for everything that you'll do for our city and all the great people that you'll get to meet during your program here. And another thing that I would love to look forward to is a recap of how the program goes. So at the end of the 8 or 9 weeks, if you can share what you've been up to and what new skills you learn and things that you've enjoyed about the program, we would love to hear at the end of your time of the program.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Great. So great. All right. Next on the agenda is the Whiz Bang Days Committee. So.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. It is an actionable item. I'll go ahead and invite a couple of the volunteers from the committee up here. We do have one correction to the recommended action, and we'll certainly get to that on the back end of their presentation.
Fantastic.
Good evening. My name is Becky Schwartz. I'm the president of WizBang.
I'm Pam Sheeler. I'm the secretary of WizBang Days.
We're really excited to be going to our 77th year of WizBang Days this year. So in front of you kind of have a summary of everything we have planned. Just as a reminder, it's Thursday through Sunday, so July 10th through the 13th. We have our own WizBang Days, kind of sponsored events, and then businesses and organizations in Robbinsdale are welcome to throw their own events as a part of WizBang Days. So you'll kind of see a mix of those throughout the memo that you have. We wanted to highlight a couple of new or newer things in our festival outside of the kind of historical ones we have. Our softball tournament is continuing, but it's moving locations. So instead of being at Spanders right outside City Hall here, we're moving over to Lee Park. That's because the softball field was resized for girls fast pitch, so a little too small for our grown men playing softball. We don't want to wreck any cars in the parking lot. Outside of that, our bags tournament is continuing again, but still new location. We'll get to that with the amendment and the recommended items in a second here. The rest of that first page is historical. Our big kind of new event this year is we are partnering with Children's Entrepreneur Market. So this is an organization that reached out to us last fall looking to partner up to throw kind of exactly what it sounds like, a market where kids are your vendors. So it's a good opportunity for them to sell whatever their hobby or thing is, while also learning how to run a business, how to be an entrepreneur, how to interact with people at markets. It's super awesome because they pretty much plan it and we just give them a location. So through our planning, we have decided to close part of West Broadway in downtown Robbinsdale so they can be right in the thick of things. So going down to the recommendations, the amendment we would like to make is in your memo. We were only shutting down part of West Broadway. We would like to amend that to shut down the whole section from 42nd to 41st, leaving room for that CVS pharmacy exit. This way we can spread that market out, allow even more vendors. We're going to pull the bags tournament up there, and then we also have a kids dance DJ joining us, so it's going to be a really fun time. You're getting a map that's being passed out, kind of for the plan for that section. We're really excited for it to be downtown where all the businesses are, pull people from the businesses to all the activities on the street, but also the other way around. Because likely a lot of those kids market people are not from Robbinsdale, so it'll give them a chance to go into all those businesses on Broadway and hopefully come back after that. I think that is all of the new things we wanted to highlight. Oh, and a big plug. Our fireworks sponsor, so in past years, we've been very lucky to have the entire funding for our fireworks show sponsored. This year, they were only able to donate half the amount, so we are $4,000 short at the moment. So just a plug for sponsorships or general donations. You do not have to be a business to be a sponsor. You can be a sponsor all by yourself. Get your name put up on our website and everything. But any amount helps. We've already raised a couple $100 since we've found out, so that's awesome. So, yeah. Any questions or comments?
If you don't mind, I do have a comment. So, I'm glad you brought up the donations link for the fireworks. I did check, and as of yesterday, you're at $951.
Yeah.
So that's
it's
good.
Awesome.
So you're 25% of the way there about. So for anybody that's listening, the gap's getting shorter, and every dollar counts. So I would encourage residents and non-residents, quite frankly, who come into town to participate in donating. Just great list of events. I'm glad to see we're shutting down Broadway. That's fantastic. Excited for the bingo and meat raffle at the Wart here. So a lot of great stuff going on. So I'm excited. It's my favorite time of year, as any Robbinsdale resident probably would attest. So sorry, I didn't mean to take the stage there. Council, any questions?
Oh, I do have a question. As you talk about the kids farmers market happening, is registration still open for that?
It is.
Okay, 'cause I missed the deadline. So
registration will be through that Kids Entrepreneur Market website.
Okay.
So in our Facebook event, there's a link to that website, and you can go sign up on there. I believe it's $25. Don't quote me on that, but it's not super expensive to join.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
No questions, but just wanted to comment. It is very exciting to see such a wonderful variety of events happening over Whiz-Bang Days, and that doesn't happen without folks like you who are coordinating a lot behind the scenes, much more than any of us can imagine. So just wanted to extend my thanks for all of the work that you're doing, and it's hard to believe it's a month and a bit away.
It's coming
right
quick.
around the corner.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Absolutely happy to do it.
Yeah. Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah.
Tim? Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Council, if I may, a few items. First, I, much like Council, offer my thanks. A volunteer committee that meets throughout the year, gives up a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resources go into this. So as you're all aware, but I just want to reiterate for those watching at home, I know they're always looking for folks to join the committee in whatever capacity they might be interested in, that you can see that there's a lot of solid year-to-year events, but their flexibility in trying new stuff, I've always appreciated that. So my thanks to the group. Certainly couldn't do it without these folks. Would note, we may have somebody in the audience that wants to share some feedback. Up to the mayor and council if you want to open that up. But I do just want to correct, as Becky noted, that it was be the fourth bullet point. Staff would make a recommendation to strike the language that says to 41st and a half and just say to 42nd Avenue, and that would be staff's recommendation conclusively. So again, my thanks to the committee, and staff makes a recommendation for approval of all of those with that item identified.
Excellent. You said there was somebody who wanted to say something? No.
Okay.
All right. I got no further questions, so great. Looking forward to a great year with fireworks. All right. Yeah.
If there are no other questions or comments from the council, I would be happy to make a motion to approve the request for Robbinsdale Whizbang Days activities and locations from Thursday, July 10th to Sunday, July 13th, as indicated in all bullet points in our memo, with the amendment of the fourth bullet changing the language to approving blocking West Broadway from 41st Avenue North to 42nd Avenue North for the kids market, leaving Walgreens Pharmacy clear for exiting.
I'll second.
Excellent. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is, let me get there. There it is. 2025 LGBTQIA+ Pride Month Proclamation.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. As noted, this is something the city's done annually for several years now. The HRC was instrumental into getting this going. I know the council is supportive of a variety of proclamations to promote the inclusiveness nature, promoting equity. And beyond council, I know this is important to staff for a number of reasons, both in supporting the community that we serve and otherwise. So without going through line by line, do want to share my appreciation to council for continuing to be supportive of this type of effort. Staff, again, for a number of reasons, certainly appreciates this. But don't want to hog the mic because I know this is important to council too.
Yeah. Any comments, questions from the council? Yes, ma'am.
I'll start just by showing appreciation and support for this proclamation, wishing all of our friends and neighbors in Robbinsdale and beyond a very happy Pride. And one whereas clause that I would love to highlight in the proclamation is whereas the City Council and staff have committed to make Robbinsdale an inclusive and welcoming community for all, including the LGBTQIA+ community. The proclamation goes on to further talk about how the City of Robbinsdale is committed to that effort, and I'm very happy to support this proclamation, and again, wish everyone a very happy Pride.
Other comments from council?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just say thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council. Thank you, staff, for putting this together. Thank you to the Robbinsdale community for supporting our LGBTQIA+ folks. It's one of the reasons that I love living here is the neighborliness of it all. And we always can get better, of course, but I just wanted to say that, and happy Pride and happy to support this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo thanks to staff and council for supporting this, to our city and community, and just happy Pride to everybody.
Happy Pride.
All right. Yeah, I'll say a few words, and I'm very supportive of this as well. Our city works best when all residents can participate fully without fear of discrimination or exclusion, and I think that this just kind of underscores that principle for everyone. So, all are welcome here in Robbinsdale, and this doesn't diminish a commitment to any other group, but it really kind of demonstrates the kind of community that we are, one that stands up for our neighbors, and works to ensure Robbinsdale remains a place where really everyone can thrive. So, happy to support it, and happy Pride. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll move that we approve the 2025 LGBTQIA+ Pride Month proclamation as attached in our agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. All right, that passes. Moving on, no public hearings, no old business, but we do have new business. A conditional use permit for outdoor fireworks sales tent at 4050 Lakeland Avenue North.
That's right. Good evening. Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, my name is Heather Rand. I'm your Director of Community Development. I'm going to just briefly go over some particulars and summarize this conditional use permit application. The location, the address says 4050, but many of the folks in Robbinsdale would know this as the parking lot of Robbins Center. And actually, it's a fireworks tent where sales will occur for about a month or 30 days, just before the 4th of July and right after. And so we just wanted to get you ready for that. We want you to know that the company that's actually making the request is Renaissance Fireworks, Inc., on behalf of the owners of Robbins Center, which is an LLC. They submitted this application actually back at the end of March. It has been vetted by staff internally. I'll get into a little bit more of that, and has gone through the Planning Commission process with a public hearing as well. We want you to know that their intent with this is to occupy 8 parking spaces in the Robbins Center parking lot. That's basically for the tent. Also, though, almost like a metal cargo container, storage container, where they can store their sales materials very securely on off hours, or the inventory throughout those 30 days, so it's very safe. And they then propose to run this, what we call an outdoor retail stand, like I said, from June 10th to July 10th. I want you to know that the items that we look at when we consider something like this is it properly zoned, that actual parcel? And in this case, yes, it is. Your city code says that this type of operation, we actually call it outdoor service sales and equipment rental. It can be an accessory use in a B3 district and a B4. B4 is actually what this property is. And there are a couple of caveats. One of them is that the outside sales can't take up more than 30% of the space, and it does not, right? It also, it must be either fenced or screened from a neighboring residential use. Well, in this case, the closest residential would be Copperfield, which is quite a ways away. So we don't believe that that's going to be an issue or concern. They're already used to retail activity occurring at this site. Lighting must be hooded and directed downward, which is what is occurring indeed with this use. And then lastly, the sales area must be on a surface or a grassed area to control dust. Meets all those requirements. One of the biggest factors that we were really looking at as staff reviewed this is what will it do or how will it impact the existing parking for the existing businesses. We want to make sure that just because we're adding a business, even though it's short term, it won't negatively impact those. So as such, I want you to know we actually do this analysis where we look at how much square footage and how many parking stalls based on the business type of use might they need. In this case, Will, our city planner, actually did an inventory and noticed that Robbins Center Shopping Mall has a total of 269 parking spaces in that section of the parking, and that the demand with the existing businesses would require 221 stalls. This operation and the existing food truck that often occurs out in that general area of the parking lot actually do not exceed or take all of the available parking. In fact, we have at least 10 extra stalls. So we were quite confident, and I just wanted you to know we do that analysis and we take that very serious. So ample parking. The other factor is they want a sign. Renaissance Fireworks operates these types of tents and have for a few years now elsewhere in the metro area. So they actually have a picture of the type of sign that would be on their tent, just to get people's attention, because all of a sudden, again, it's a pop-up, right? It's only there for 30 days in a parking lot. So as you're driving by Botno, you're going to see a sign similar to this. They do have to apply for a permit. That's something that staff can issue because it meets the requirements of our city code, but we held off on that until we know that this is something indeed you want to approve. So I just want you to know that's in the works. And then here's probably what I consider one of the most serious factors is there had to be internal staff review by our fire chief, our fire marshal, and our building official. And what we wanted to make sure is that we're meeting all state building codes. As you can imagine, fireworks can be, if not handled properly, rather dangerous. And we also, when we have a pop-up, we want to make sure that it's placed in a location where, as people approach the tent, they're not going to be a hazard out in maybe a public thoroughfare, a street. We don't want anyone, safety first. We don't want anyone to get hit. So we were looking at those types of factors. You might have noticed, if you saw in your packet, I included the permit for the fire review. It's detailed, but it's detail I thought you should know, where they're actually looking at the layout of the tables of the fireworks and if there's, gaps between them in case something starts to go off so that there's separation. Are there fire extinguishers? Are the exits clearly marked? So just want you to know that while they submitted the plan, Renaissance did, and it met the requirements of state fire code. They know what they're doing. When and if you do approve this permit, our fire marshal, probably police as well, but certainly our fire marshal will go out and inspect again after they've set it up to make sure that they did what they said they were going to do. We want to keep everybody safe. So, Planning Commission took this one up first as a conditional use permit. They held their public hearing on May 15th. A mailing notice was sent out to anybody with property or parcels within 350 feet of this proposed use. Notice was also put in the city's newspaper, on the city's website, posted out here. And I will tell you that we didn't have any members of the public show up, so there didn't seem to be any large clamoring of concern, is what we deduced. I have a list here of some of, again, per your planning code, the types of things we look at and consider when we're making a solid judgment on should we approve this conditional use permit. There are things like, does the use fit your city comprehensive plan and zoning? Is there geographical factors that we should consider with, whether it's roadways or wetlands or, there's lots of different factors. Will this use, a conditional use, cause deterioration to the area? Will it impact the character of the area? So I listed some of those, and I'll tell you, as we went through and we had the discussion, both staff recommendation and planning commission did not see any concern with these factors or findings of fact. So planning commission did recommend unanimously that the city council approve this, which again, this is a conditional use permit. It's temporary, only for 30 days, but that is with the caveats that the applicant does continue to meet all of the requirements that we noted in that fire permit, including the inspection once they set up, and that, again, this is only valid June 10th through July 10th. And I will tell you, Whiz Bang Days committee, they reminded me, July 10th, they really need to be out of there because I think there's an auto show in that location. So this should all work out very, very well. So with that, we'll stand for questions, and we do have a representative from Renaissance in the audience if you have more questions about, maybe how this has run in other cities. But anyway, I just want you to know he's here tonight to answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Council, any questions or comments?
Heather, I'll just say thanks for the thorough review. I know this is relatively new to Robbinsdale, so really just like the safety considerations from police and fire in the building. To me, those would be the biggest concerns, and making sure that everything fits and falls within the rules and all of that. With the consideration for safety, I think, this makes a lot of sense. I guess my one question is with Whiz Bang Day starting on the 10th and it goes through the 10th, will they be done before Whiz Bang Day starts? I know that the car show in Robbins Center isn't until it's like more into the weekend than on the 10th. So I just want to make sure there's no overlap.
Right. Mr. Mayor and Councilor Greenberg, I would suggest we allow the representative from Renaissance address that one directly. And also, he might want to share a little bit more about their experience and how the business has gone in other cities. Why don't I call him up here if that's okay?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I'm Mark Lazarchik. I own Renaissance Fireworks. This is our 22nd season doing this in Minnesota, so we've done it a couple of times. We won't be there on the 10th. We run our sales through the 5th, and then we get out. And we try and get out as soon as possible, but it's all up to people picking up containers and tearing down tents and everything like that. We do have it in our notes to be out before the weekend for Robbinsdale, so we do know about the whiz-bang days and whatnot.
Great. Thank you so much.
Sure. Any other questions?
Yeah, Councilman.
Yeah, I had one. Thanks, Mark. Can you just maybe briefly go over how you secure the site or the temporary storefront when employees go home each evening?
Like at the end of the night?
Yeah.
That's what the storage containers are there for. And what we use are two donut locks. If you know what a donut lock is, the round one where the cylinder rolls into itself. And that goes up inside of a metal package inside of there, so that if someone wants to get in and is willing to spend time with a blowtorch there, they can get in. But it's very difficult, and it's gonna be obvious. We've had containers broken into. Like I said, 22 years of doing this, averaging 25 tents a year, and I think we've had 3 containers broken into. But when they break into the containers, they're stealing stuff to take it home and light it off.
Right.
And it sucks, but it's, you secure it as much as you possibly can. And also, if bad weather's coming, we have them tear down and put everything in there.
Gotcha. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, Councilmember Parisian.
Thank you. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
What are your planned operating hours for the weeks that you'll be running?
We give them a lot of leeway leading up because the 4th is on a Friday this year, which for us is a really crummy day for the 4th to be on. Leading up to it, probably all the way up till Wednesday, they're probably not going to be open after 8 o'clock at night. We do get gung-ho crews that want to work late. I tell them not to because they'll just burn themselves out working longer than that. And they generally are open by 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just envisioning what happens when you use a blowtorch to break into a container full of fireworks.
It's very difficult to ignite fireworks. I mean, they're designed that way. Like, it's not an easy thing, like just blasting sparks onto them.
Yeah.
And even if they do go, this is Minnesota. They're all safe and sane fireworks. Nothing explodes, nothing launches. It's just pretty.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's like, I own a warehouse that's full of these things. And the fire department knows, has to know about this. And they've said the same thing. If it starts up, we're just going to sit back and watch because it's just a fire at that point that's pretty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other questions?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
Of course,
thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, is there a recommendation to approve the temporary application as presented?
So I can make a motion to approve the temporary conditional use permit application as presented and approve temporary CUP at 4050 Lakeland Avenue North with the following conditions of the applicant meeting all requirements specified in fire permit RB 2025-397, and that the CUP be valid only between the dates of June 10th and July 10th of 2025.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We are moving on to first reading of an ordinance related to camping on city property.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. So at a recent city council work session, council hosted a discussion related to camping on city property. I want to start by, echoing the sentiment of that discussion that safety remains a priority. The intent of this isn't to create some type of connotation that there's wrongdoing related to homelessness, rather that, again, the safety of those specific individuals and individuals that may be near those situations is a priority, and this gives the city an opportunity to address them as such. To start the conversation, one of the things that we discussed back at that work session conversation was cited RPD policy, and I won't spend too much time on that, but this is something that for those that pay close attention, RPD did an update to policy in the last 2-3 years, very comprehensive, I think 790 some pages, and these are the types of policies that exist to give guidance on these types of things that our officers are expected to adhere to. What I do want to spend some time on is the memo attached to this as a part of this conversation for me to reacclimate myself to some of these situations, both encouraging, certainly emotional, but a good reminder of some of what our staff is able to do. Outlined in this, again, a big part of our conversation at the work session included resources that might be available to those that are unhoused. Of course, there's no singular reason or set of circumstances why a person may find themselves in that situation. So understandably, and for that reason, there are a variety of resources available, and connecting those people to resources certainly can be a challenge, but is a priority. You have them listed here in a way that's, rather than putting the entirety into your packet, some hyperlinks, but including the Hennepin Waypoint with Hennepin County, resources for youth at Hennepin County, help for unsheltered homelessness in Hennepin County, the Youth Services Network, the COPE page. A couple of items to call out specifically. When an officer makes initial contact with an individual, longstanding practice, and it will continue, is that the embedded social worker is contacted. We have currently an individual who's been with the PD for long enough that they were able to share some recent stories of success. These are the things that are very encouraging to see, including last summer where officers were called to assist a gentleman living in a broken down car with a couple of dogs. Understanding the unique set of circumstances to that individual, the embedded social worker was able to connect them with services including the VA, Streets to Housing, and the Animal Humane Society. Within a couple of months, the client was able to receive housing. The two dogs were able to get the care they needed, and last update, the individual has been housed for 9 months. The department will continue to, work on removing barriers as I share. Again, there's no unique set of circumstances for any individual that may find themselves in this, but a good reason to share that out again. That the Robbinsdale community continues to be very supportive in a variety of ways, and we often get the question that how can we get involved. PRISM and NEAR both provide food services for individuals. PRISM does have a hand in some type of housing. Robbinsdale, here we do a winter coat drive. The crime prevention group, these are active groups that people can come be a part of, volunteer as a part of a committee or commission. Again, without going through all of them, we've listed a number, including Help the Needy, the Salvation Army, and the Hennepin County Continuum for Care groups where people can be active in. So to go back to the actual ordinance itself, you can see we kept it pretty short. I would note Section 2 summary does have a typo at the end of that sentence. Rather than the occurrence of false alarms, of course, that should reflect the title, so staff will get that updated. But you can see what we're proposing here is in Section 930.01, camping on city property, to read that no person shall set up or remain in any tent, lean-to, shack, or temporary shelter, or any house trailer, camp wagon, or the like upon city-owned property, street, or public right-of-way. Any such items or personal property related to those items may be removed or cleaned up by the city or its designated contractors. This language does give us a lot of flexibility into, again, if we need additional time to help connect a person to resources, make sure that their belongings are housed or kept temporarily while they get those resources. This allows us to have that flexibility. So with all of that, staff is certainly happy to respond to questions, comments, or concerns, but our recommendation is that here tonight, you hold the first reading. If necessary, we're happy to bring back at a future work session, and then we would post for a second reading at a subsequent council meeting.
Comments, questions? Yes, Councilmember Greenberg.
So, thank you for putting this together. I think one thing just to keep in mind as we're discussing this, the focus is on, there's a lot of focus on homelessness, but just in general within our city parks, we don't really want to support anyone camping in our city parks. So that can apply to people who are homeless, but there can be people who just want to like go and camp in a park in our city parks, and we're not supporting that either. And so this is just a mechanism to be able to account for that. One thing that I did have a question on was just around the language. So there's nothing specific about overnight. So it just says like if you set up a tent, like we could take it down, which is true. But I'm wondering if does it warrant having to be specific on overnight? Because I can imagine somebody wanting to like go to the park, they're hanging out, they want to set up a tent for the day, and that should be fine. It's the overnight component of like sleeping, of actual camping. And I just want to make sure that like we don't, by keeping it more general, we don't overdo it. I don't want people to feel like, well, you can't set up a tent ever in a park. So I don't know if that, I guess it's just a question as far as the language and maybe a consideration as we go through this.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Greenberg, I think a fair question. Maybe for the same but reverse reason, keeping it vague gives us a bit of room for interpretation. So the example you give is parks. Parks have operating hours. So if that were the circumstance there, however, we do have public facilities. For example, we wouldn't want somebody camped by the water treatment plant, egress for any amount of hours. I think this gives us the ability to have appropriate interpretation. Again, the intent is not to roust anybody out from, chilling in a tent in the park, having a good day. Certainly not but we do have other policies and procedures that allow for that interpretation. And this gives us the flexibility that there may be circumstances that are more urgent. We have in public right-of-way, blocking access, et cetera. Those may be circumstances where, again, safety is a priority, and we need to address sooner than later.
Okay, nope, that makes a lot of sense. I appreciate you addressing it. Thank you.
Comments, questions?
I can go next if no one else wants to go too. Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Was just one thing I noticed in the ordinance, and when we talked about this in the work session, one thing I appreciated about other cities' approaches to this is that they had designated time frames, so they would give a person that is, would meet the criteria who this ordinance could be enforced upon. They would give them, 70 or whatever, 3 days worth of time to 5 days worth of time. I don't see any time like that in the policy or in this ordinance, so that I'm concerned about that. I would prefer to see something like that. I guess a couple questions maybe for Tim. The RPD policy, that's already in place, correct? Okay, he's affirming. And then for people that have been camping or that we've engaged with, so in the memo we talk about the person in the car, which is a great example of how the city can help out folks experiencing homelessness. And then of course there's the one that happened a few weeks ago, which I think is why we're talking about this, about the person that had set up a tent near the water tower downtown. So those are two. How many other instances of this have there been?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Wagner, in order, again, much to Councilmember Greenberg's question, not including language, gives us flexibility when flexibility is appropriate. One of the things that in writing this we may have concerns about includes, say, critical infrastructure. camping near a well house, camping near a right-of-way or easement that blocks access to the RPD or RFD. So maybe a bit dramatic, but this gives us that interpretation that we know that part of what I have confidence in that is maybe a segue to your second question. We don't have a history of being abusive in this type of situation. And again, compassion, safety, those are the number ones for us. So where I grow that confidence. To your question, I don't have an explicit list. I think what you're seeking, anecdotally, encounters are so quick, a matter of a half-hour conversation, so may not be documented. We have had circumstances in different areas. It's, some more open spaces, some, we've had a couple of encounters with folks, for instance, down by LVT in that wooded area. In that circumstance, people just wanted to be left alone, and that was fine. It was, we worked to see, what can we do to help you? They wanted to pack up their bags and go. And, it's too bad that we weren't able to, but that's a circumstance, so maybe less visible. So, again, these circumstances may be very quick, may take weeks or months to address. The individual noted here, you may recall, was on a couple pieces of public property, and it was, again, never the intent to shoo them along. It was to let's connect you with what can be most helpful and ensure everybody's being considered in a safe way.
Gotcha. Thank you. From my understanding of our conversation with the captain during the work session was that the mechanism used to kind of move folks along was to trespass them. And so with this ordinance, I guess it's a kind of a two-part question. One is, what is the penalty for violating this ordinance? And two, does it lead to maybe I'll just stick with that one part. What would the punishment be?
Sure, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Wagner. To your reference for maybe folks watching at home, there was a bit of discussion whether or not individuals can be trespassing on property. That's something that might happen more often on a private or a piece of private property, non-city property. I think the reference was specific to the individual ended up on Hennepin County Railroad Authority property,
Yep.
HCRA, on their property, and that's where that situation ended up. As for the city, this does give us an opportunity for something to point to, that we do have a rule, we do have more than a policy. The intent wouldn't be to exercise the violation, so I can pull it up for you, but under your fee schedule for code violations, much like the not cutting your lawn grass, that's what we fall into. So the monetary isn't meant to be what to dissuade you from doing this. It's to give city staff an opportunity for something to point to and stand on and say, well, there actually is an established policy that dissuades you for all the reasons that we've discussed.
Gotcha. And then just like a technical procedural question, if this is approved tonight, is there a public hearing for the second reading? Or how does that normally work for ordinances like this?
Mr. Mayor, Council, so this would fall under, as noted, 9:30. We would not host a public hearing. That typically the second reading public hearing falls for like a zoning or land use change. This is not in that section of code. We can certainly bring back an old business and allow for continued feedback if that'd be of best interest of council.
Great, thank you. Thanks for answering all those questions. I guess just to part to the council with my kind of few thoughts here. Yeah, I would like more, public input on this personally. I think we've seen a couple examples that in recent history come to my mind about public engagement. The water tower lights being one. We had multiple meetings about it. We had, a lot of engagement on the issue, and we were able to, come to a reasonable solution to that. And then also with the speed limit discussion, some of us that have maybe been on here a little bit longer, there was a time, I think last year, maybe 18 months ago where we had a number of meetings about talking about a citywide speed limit and the safety concerns around people speeding inside of Robbinsdale. We had, staff put out sensors and things on this neighborhood street to collect data, and that which would inform, everybody's decision making in the process. And ultimately, we, I think, have kind of maybe paused that conversation for now, for better or for worse. But I just want to highlight those two things. Just kind of, I think there was a very visible event one time, and now we're approached with this ordinance, which I think is, overly broad, and I would like more specifics with it, which we can certainly talk about in the future too. But I think there's the lack of, data on how many people we're actually interacting with, and the kind of lack of major civic engagement is what is most concerning to me. So I think at best I'd probably abstain on this if it is moved and seconded. So I'll leave. But I want to, thank everybody for putting time and work into this. We had a whole work session about it, so I don't want to diminish the work we're doing. And sometimes in those work sessions, you think about one thing, but then as time moves on, some other things bubble to the surface. And so I'm not trying to catch anybody off guard or anything like that, but I just want to lay it all out there. So those are my thoughts, and I'll yield the mic.
Any other comments? Councilmember Parisi.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilmember Wagner. I also support your suggestion for more public engagement around this. I would also like to explicitly state that I am glad to hear that the current policy manual is in progress right now. I think the piece that I may want to clarify is that with the ordinance language, that would imply that if such personal belongings are to be removed, that through that mechanism, the RPD policy would be followed, in that the officers who encounter other personal property in public areas that reasonably appears to belong to a person who's unhoused should not remove or destroy such property and should inform a supervisor. So can I clarify that that is the intended sort of order of events, where the ordinance, if that's in place, then from that ordinance, then the RPD policy would be enforced to that level of specificity?
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, absolutely. So again, that would be the methodology that we use now. Really, what this does is it adds that layer for certain circumstances where we need that ability for enforcement.
Okay.
I do know that there have been circumstances where we've done that. We've hung on to materials for months, do our best to connect people with them. But yeah, that would be the continued practice.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. And then the only other clarifying question, and this is sort of adjacent to the conversation thus far, but something that comes to mind with the current ordinance language is that there may be some overlap in recreational camping vehicle parking. And so can you help to refresh my understanding of what's the current, what are the current rules around, say, parking a camp trailer on residential or city-owned street?
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, you're going to have to give me just a moment to pull that up.
Absolutely, and while you do that, I think something that comes to mind is that if there is this overlap between what we've talked about thus far in terms of camping on city property, I think some of the language around to set up a camp trailer on a city-owned street I am concerned that that language may overlap with any kind of parking rules that are in place. So I just wanted to clarify that language.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, just so I understand right, the question might have to do with properties that are not public property. The question is to not like street parking, right-of-way obstruction, more specific to rules camping on like a personal, private property, anything from residential to business or otherwise? Is that the question?
Well, I think in terms of this language, setting up a camp trailer, I wonder how that differs from someone having a recreational camp trailer parked on a city street for any amount of time. So I guess maybe there's an opportunity to better define camping in or inhabiting a recreational vehicle versus parking, because I think that's where, if you think of a Venn diagram of these two things, I think there is some overlap.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Parisian, I would say there's more than some overlap, it's fair to say. Parking restrictions generally, as council's aware, we practice limitations on the overnight parking rule, for instance. Mm-hmm. There are also residential requirements that in certain areas may restrict parking to 4 hours. Those are things that we don't typically enforce, as has been direction from council for several years. Something that we've talked internally about that warrants discussion at the council level, that why do we have the rules if we're not enforcing them? And I think it's a fair question. But an example I'd point to where we're looking to move some of those considerations operationally was this last year with snow plowing, limiting, putting the onus back on residents piece by piece is the intention. To your question, I think there's a couple parts to it. The camping on private property, more specifically residential, not something that the city is looking to enforce. However, with some of the camper pieces, especially on larger plots that think of a commercial district or a church parking lot, we would have concerns with what are often referred to as accessory dwelling units. Those are not something that are permitted in the community here. I would consider that a separate conversation, and staff would be happy to prepare those materials.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, comments?
Yeah, I think overall, I think some of the things brought up by fellow council members are, I'm glad they brought us up. I think there's something along the lines of saying like how much residents have say in communicating some of this as well too. So I would like to see more feedback from the residents as well, our neighbors. I do like the vagueness of it, only because I think it does allow the flexibility that I think we talked about seeking. And I think it was critical to see kind of some of the processes that our police department are partaking as far as the manual and how they work with, and not criminalizing people, but how do we truly support. And so that to me was really, I know it's been communicated as well too, but also to see it in writing was also really helpful to see that. So I know, the biggest thing for me is like, how do we continue to answer some of those questions, but really getting some of our neighbors and our residents' feedback around like this ordinance, but also being able to be as flexible as possible, because my fear with having limitations on things or putting numbers sometimes, it does mean that somebody might need us a little extra time to be able to get that figured out, or somebody's working with them and everybody might not be aware of that. And so my thing is, are we going to limit that and have people like, let's be really intentional, like we have 3-day policy, get in, get out? Or is it really like, all right, we know this person's being worked with and somebody's supporting them, and if the police are doing that, and our counselors and other individuals as well too, then I'm really okay with allowing it to take place, because it is about the person and being able to protect everyone in this sense. And I really get a sense of humanizing individuals from the police manual, as well as I think it's the flexibility that exists right now with the ordinance, but would love to hear, like I said, feedback from our residents.
Yeah, of course.
I definitely appreciate the comments. These are great questions and good details to bring up, and I would definitely support bringing this back up to have public input and see what the public has to say about it. I think the street parking is a good example. I mean, it's a great question because there is that overlap, but it also is a good example of we have rules in place, but they're not, it's really more of a way to help the city when it's needed. And it isn't, it's not actively enforced all the time. I mean, I don't think that the goal of those rules are to like go after every car that's parked on a street in Robbinsdale. It's not the experience that I've had or that I really know any of my neighbors who have had. But if something happens where it's out of hand, then we do have rules in place, and it feels like that's kind of where this is the intent of this, which I appreciate. I guess the one thing, Tim, like a follow-up question is keeping it vague. The explanation you gave makes total sense to me, but vagueness can also be abused in a way, which I haven't seen, I've not experienced, but could happen. And I guess my thought is if we move forward with this, which I think it's good to put something in place, and I do think it's important to hear community feedback, but if we find that, hey, this isn't being used the way we really intended, which is this very light-handed, just having a rule in place, do you think it would be appropriate at that point to say, hey, listen, we need to actually update this? Like this doesn't set in stone anything that we could not then update further if we saw that the experience was different.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Greenberg, I think a great question. Much like any piece of code, we would have to go through policy and procedure to update. But if it was found to use your term, abused, if it's found to have been abused, we could certainly bring back, staff would make recommendations from lessons learned, much like we do in other areas. We're constantly updating code, sometimes more often than I'd like, but it's for good reason, right? It's because rules are put in place for a best effort to, like you say, to manage foreseeable future. Things change, habits change, the way people live change, and for that reason, we can update code.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
First, I'd like to thank my fellow council members for the good and deep thoughts. I'd also like to thank the city for putting together a very simple ordinance. I think you can fall into the trap of slicing this thing 100 ways and trying to nitpick everything and squeeze every corner, and I like the vagueness of this, and I'll give you a couple examples. It is illegal to speed. It is illegal to drive with expired tabs. But do you always get a ticket for when you speed or when you drive with expired tabs? I think our police force has demonstrated compassion, and I see that compassion in the current policies. I like the respect for property, the respect for person, the respect for their mental well-being and their condition. So I trust the city to do the right thing with the ordinance as it stands today, with the understanding that we can always come back and modify. I like the idea of getting public input. I think that's important. And I know that we can't leave this unaddressed. It's not like there's an army of unhoused individuals marching towards Robbinsdale at this moment, but at the same time, like, we are in this situation because this wasn't addressed previously. And in my mind, I play the what if game. What if the next temporary shelter goes up and the person in there is not safe, right? We listened to Captain Elder, who's been in the police force since 1987, worked in Minneapolis. He saw many homeless encampments, and unfortunately, people are in this homelessness situation because of tough circumstances. They're in this situation because of mental illness, and there's members who are dangerous, there's drug use. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but when you start to increase the chances of more and more people showing up, it's just a matter of time before something like that happens. And we've got a situation where it's unsafe. I also play the what if game, like, what if a resident takes matters into their own hands? You know? Like, us trespassing them isn't just about us getting rid of a problem. It's like they have an embedded social worker who comes with a mountain of resources. We heard that in the work session too, where, you know, this is a highly trained individual with at least 5 years experience, and they are able to, because they're a Hennepin County social worker, track and help that person as they move around from communities. So, like, I know our community, there was an outpouring of compassion, which I was just absolutely surprised and moved by. But, you know, when you don't know all of the things that are being done, you assume nothing's being done, and that's just not the case. And so I would urge us to strongly consider putting something in place, but I respect the fact that we want to get input, and you know, we each have our opinions on that. So I support getting public input, and I guess we'll kind of take it from there, because once we get public input, we'll just kind of figure out what goes in next, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay. But I do thank you each for your thoughts on this, seriously, and the community for all of the help they tried to provide, and even the community that said, hey, this is wrong. I mean, it's unfortunate that people just got at each other's throats, but, you know, there's a lot here. This is a complex issue. So I don't know where that leaves us. Is there a motion that needs to happen right now?
I don't think there's a motion. We just have to have the first. We had the first reading.
Had the first reading.
Mr. Mayor, Council, so staff recommends that the City Council hold the first reading for the ordinance amending Section 930, Robbinsdale City Code, relating to camping on public property. That would be the motion we'd entertain, and not specific to your motion. It would be helpful for staff to understand, not that it's a binary threshold, yes or no, but what type of feedback would leave council with more assurance? What ways would you like us to help with that outreach? Is that something you're looking to do on your own? If there are ways that we can help, again, maybe not as part of a motion for this first reading, but a first reading keeps us on track. We can either at a second reading not go through with it. It gives us a timeline to move forward with things. We can certainly adjust language in between. It doesn't necessarily set a date. We are required by way of posting rules to get proper notice out for that. But in the meantime, it sounds like we could maybe do that a little bit in a little bit longer process if feedback's what you're desiring. But it'd be helpful for staff to know what that feedback is and how we can help you get that.
That is a good point. I don't know if there is feedback that puts my mind in a place where I wouldn't want to see us give RPD the tools to move somebody along, or at least offer the resources, or try to address the situation. I'm not going to speak for other council members. I guess maybe there's an idea that gets sparked by the public, but just thinking out loud.
Well, you were kind of suggesting it doesn't have a public hearing based on the ordinance that it is, so that we could like kind of bring it back as old business and just listen to what the public has to say. I mean, there's also a chance, the room could be full and there could be a lot of feedback, and that could, influence more detail, how we write it, lots of things. It could also be that the room is empty and that there is no feedback, and people are okay with the way that it is. And so I think if that's a mechanism that's possible, of just like through this process, we'll have the readings the way that this works for, I think it's Section 930. Is that? Mm-hmm. So there isn't a public hearing per se, but that we give an opportunity through old business to have public input. And then if that changes the direction of the conversation, that's the whole point. Like, that's what I want from my perspective.
Yeah. What's the posting requirement for public hearings?
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Wagner, we would be able to post by having this potentially as early as the 15th of July. So that we would take that indication here tonight with the first reading, if it's hosted with approval by council, and then we would notice as such. So we would get in the paper, and again, even by way of direction through a head nod, if you're looking through additional, getting information out, we advertise when ordinances are updated, but if you're looking for that additional feedback, social media, Burtown Brief, other mechanisms, we can certainly pump that out. It wouldn't be a part of your motion, but again, this is one of those head nod is appropriate type of direction.
I'm in support of that.
Yeah, if I just add, Mayor, I think my preference would be just to I get that council members want to, it seems like they want to move on with this. So, I mean, my preference would be to just table it until the 15th with a public hearing schedule attached to the first reading. But I'd also support doing the second reading with a public hearing on the 15th. That would be how I would want to get feedback, personally.
Councilmember.
So I know we're in semantics here, but like a public hearing, technically we wouldn't have a public hearing. It would just be a forum for feedback, right? Like there isn't, which I think is sufficient, but if you're feeling like we need to have an actual public hearing, then I think it needs to be there's a different mechanism that we need to put in place, or can we make a public hearing because we want to, I guess is my question.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Greenberg and Wagner, I think that's fair to say. There are thresholds, either by definition of their statute, city code, or the city charter that require public hearings. If you're looking for public feedback, we could do that as a part of a second reading for old business. If that were to meet the threshold, we could advertise it in a very similar way. So it required posting to the newspaper and otherwise. So meeting those thresholds. Semantics is a good word for it. But I think what I'm hearing is the spirit of encouraging community participation in this conversation. And I think we could meet that threshold by staying on this track.
Like it.
Is that okay? But I'm also curious, is that okay with you, Aaron, or do you feel like it's...
Yeah, so once we do the first reading, and then if second reading is, for some reason you have a majority that votes it down, does it just go away, or is there some other, I don't know how exactly that works.
Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Wagner, we'd be happy to put this into writing. So there's a few things that could happen if there was a motion to approve that was declined. You wouldn't be able to bring back up for 6 months. There are certain rules around to who can make motions depending on voting in the yay or nay. I don't have all of those off the top of my head through Sturgis in your charter, but we'd be happy to present those so you're prepared for that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm still hesitant. I mean, I don't like it as is, but if we can get the public feedback, whatever you want to call it, during the second reading, then I'd be happy to hear that I want to hear that feedback. So I think at this point, I don't feel comfortable making a motion to approve this because I don't agree with it. So I'll let maybe another council member do that, but I would like to see the feedback portion for the second reading.
So, okay, to be clear, if we have a motion to approve this first reading, then it would go to a second reading on the 15th with public feedback. So we're still getting the feedback, and we still have time to change things.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion? Do you want me to make a motion? I'll make a motion. Can I make a motion? Yeah, I'll make a motion that we...
You're the mayor.
I don't know why I asked.
I do have one quick question for you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
So Tim, this so I'm clear as well too, as a newbie. So if we were to say, for this first reading, we would say nay, that means in 6 months we can revisit this and not now. Or did I miss something? Okay. That's all.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Councilmember Blackledge. So there are certain rules that if an ordinance are brought up were to be brought up and a motion for approval is made and it's turned down, there's a delay that it can't come back. It's really an operational thing. The idea is that if Mayor Sutton wanted to make the official balloon of the community a pink balloon, and he wanted to do that every meeting, he's not allowed to do that by way of ordinance if it's continually shot down. So, well, maybe a silly metaphor or a silly example. The idea is such that to not repeat things not of the appetite of the council.
Understood. Thank you. Okay, you may continue.
All right, well, all right. So is there a motion to approve this? So we're holding a first reading, or is it, I'm sorry, I'm so turned around. So is there a motion to approve this first reading with the expectation that we hold a second reading on July 15th with public input? Did I say that correctly? Okay.
Yeah, so moved.
That's a second? All right.
Is that a second?
that a second?
That was a move,
No.
a motion, so there needs to be a second,
Sorry.
I think. No, it's
Oh,
okay.
I'll second.
All right. Thank you for the team effort there. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Ayes have it. Okay.
Chase, I'll abstain from that. Thank you. Right. Moving on to other business. Voucher request pending approval for disbursement. Any discussion there? All right. We're good to go there. All right. Do we need to approve that? Yeah, thank you.
I will move that we approve tonight's voucher requests.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to be in a rush. All right, second is item B under 11 business, other business, setting upcoming special work sessions to tour the Public Works facility.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Council. So this was discussed briefly at the council work session. This will formally set Tuesday, June 17th, 6 p.m., 4601 Toledo Avenue North. We're going to go do a tour up at the Public Works facility as we continue to better understand long-term goals for what we're going to do up there. We want to get the council to get an in-depth tour. So hopefully this date still works. We have discussed this, like I say, at the main work session. This would formally set that date, again, 2 weeks from tonight at 6 p.m. 7 p.m., of course, will be your regularly scheduled meeting back here at City Hall.
Questions, comments? All right.
I will move to set our special work session for Tuesday, the 17th of June, 2025 at 6 p.m. at 4601 Toledo.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no or nay. All right. See you on the 17th. Next up, we have administrative reports.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I'd just like to recognize that some members of the Robbinsdale City staff will be at the Golden Valley City Pride this weekend. It's on Saturday, January 7th from noon to 6 p.m. We are also, supporting Golden Valley for their Pride event, but also want to be there as staff and as a city. So we'll be there tabling from noon to 6. I welcome council if they want to join us at the table or to come themselves. I can let you know what booth we are, the information for that if you would like to join us. So just let me know, but otherwise I'll be there along with other members of our staff. So I encourage residents, if they can and want to attend, and maybe after the Garden Diggers Club, they can come to the Pride event. So that's all I have for tonight, and then happy Pride to everybody.
And I'm sorry, remind me, what's the date and time of that?
It's Saturday, January 7th from noon to 6 p.m.
June 7th. All right. Oh, my daughter's graduating. Okay. That's awesome. Thank you. All right. Any other reports?
Mr. Mayor, Council, a few quick updates. I want to share out the LRT group has started a Dream Blue Line session. The first was tonight at 5 o'clock, a second back at Elam on Thursday, 5 o'clock. We will continue to participate in a variety of community forums with those folks. This is a little bit of envisioning longer term for some of the things in and around the light rail. So not so much the engineering, but maybe a little bit more of the fun stuff. As Councilmember Greenberg called out, I want to reiterate the Diggers Garden Club plant sale here on Saturday, 9 to 3. I've got a couple of things that actually popped up from last year in the garden, so a good reminder to go back and get some of the quality products. Want to share out Centerpoint Energy is doing some work on Shoreline Drive in Chowan. This work began this week. Could last up to 3 to 4 weeks. A lot of stuff. You'll start to see some flags, paintings. I know those crews are out there. So as always with anything like that, feel free to give city staff a call if you've got questions, comments, or concerns. Do want to call out for some of the local businesses and nonprofits. Hennepin County has just offered up some grant funding for bins in your place of business, recycling, organics, and otherwise. So a good program. It sounds like there's plenty of funding this time around, so I'd encourage folks to look into that. Free trash cans, so it's a good deal for folks to look into. And then I won't go through all of them, but again, celebrating the time of the year. That's summer. We've got a lot of fun events, popsicles in the park, movie in the park, rec programming, et cetera, et cetera. Please check out the city website or social media for more things going on. And then just offer, again, it's been reiterated, Happy Pride.
Excellent. This is a fun time of year. Council, General Communications? I'm going to start over here. Councilmember Wagner.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. Thank you, staff. Happy Pride. Go to the Golden Valley Pride. Say hi to the Robbinsdale staff there. I'm going to try to make it. I have 2 baby showers to go to that day, though, so I'm like trying to balance my schedule. But I went last year. It was a lot of fun. It was beautiful weather. I hope that we get blessed with the same this year. Yeah, and then I guess just on a little more like reflective, somber note. A neighbor, a member of the community in Ward 4 passed away this weekend, or not this weekend, recently. But so I want to extend my condolences to the family of Deanna Dibble West. She's lived in Robbinsdale for a number of years, and it was unexpected, early 50s, and it's just tragic. So I've been thinking about them, and my thoughts go out to her family. I'll pass it on.
Thanks, Aaron. Councilmember Parisi?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, happy Pride. I also hope to make it to Golden Valley Pride event. It was wonderful last year to see Robbinsdale representing at that event, and like Councilmember Wagner said, it was a really great time, and look forward to more of the same. And then a couple of other additions I wanted to highlight from our last Birdtown brief is a reminder to fill out the community survey. It's a quick survey that you can access from our website, robbinsdalemn.gov/annual survey. And it just helps to benchmark data on our city services year over year. And then the other exciting girls-focused sports camps have been highlighted in our recreation portion of the newsletter. And so to check out those offerings, you can also go to our website or checking out the Birdtown brief. There's a handy QR code there, but that's under robbinsdalemn.gov/register. Love to see girls sports highlighted. So thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you. All right, Councilmember Greenberg.
Yeah, thank you. So would like to reiterate Happy Pride to everyone. And I know this doesn't impact everyone in the city, but there have been a number of issues that the staff has worked through as it relates to the Republic Waste Service. So appreciate all of the work that's been done and the help and updates to council just to keep us abreast of what's going on. So I know for the people that it is impacting, it's very frustrating. So hopefully we're making good progress there, and it's something that I've put a lot of attention into. So hopefully it seems like we're making progress on that front. And thank you to staff for all the hard work on that. And then I would be remiss to not give an RIP to Jim Marshall, one of the great Vikings, passed away today. And so rest in peace, Jim Marshall.
Nice. All right. Councilmember Blackledge.
Yes, thank you. I don't know why my throat's so dry today, but anyway, yeah, thank you so much. I just want to say happy graduation to all the graduates, whether they're from college or high school or transitioning from 8th grade, preschool, all that fun stuff. This is a really fun time of the year right now. A quick shout out also to all the student athletes who are continuing to participate in their state tournaments. I think those are wrapping up. Yeah, good luck to you and have fun. And as always, just continue to say hi to your neighbors and happy Pride as well. So thank you.
Yeah, and I'll also kind of start out with the Republic Services. So for those who are watching or might be reviewing the recording, I see you on the Facebook pages tagging me with the issues with Republic. I just encourage you to reach out to Republic to try to address directly, and if you're struggling there, I know the city's working to get things lined up. A little patience. These things are complex. There's going to be route issues, and so we appreciate everybody's patience. But I see you, and believe me, I pass your comments on. The next thing is I've got some somber news actually as well. I was contacted by Mayor Elder of New Hope, and he had informed me that they had a council member die last week, and that's Andy Hoff, who was 89 years old. He's going to be 90 this week on Wednesday. So my condolences to the city of New Hope. My condolences to his family. Sounds like he was a loved man and lived a good, long life. And so my heart goes out to them. And then finally, yes, happy Pride. I wish I could be there on Saturday to celebrate in Golden Valley. My daughter graduated this year, and it's her graduation party that day. So choices need to be made. And you guys know, if you've met my wife, I'm not going to cross that path. So that is all. And again, happy Pride, everybody. And thanks for listening. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. Meeting adjourned.